Seemingly, investors are not happy with results from Goldfields. The share price down significantly. Results from one of the largest gold miners show the challenges of mechanisation. The company returned to profits last year with a strong performance from some of its international mines in Australia, Peru and Ghana. But it's still having trouble with its South Deep mine, which is the last mine that Goldfields owns in South Africa. It says when it's complete, the mine will set standards in mechanisation, but it's struggling to increase production. Questions still remain, meanwhile, about the company's BEE deal with the US Securities and Exchange Commission, trying to establish a case of bribery. It's alleged that politically connected individuals gained shares in return for influencing the process, whereby Goldfields gained a license in 2010. Parliamentary Speaker Baleka Mbete was one of the beneficiaries, but Goldfields has denied wrongdoing, saying only its high standards of transparency were flouted. Earlier, I spoke to the CEO, Nick Holland. I started by asking him why they're struggling with South Deep, of course, when there are comparisons with the mines that they unfolded into Sibanye doing even better than South Deep.
We've got a great team on the mine. We've employed the best skills in mechanised mining in South Africa on the operation itself. People who've done it before, people who've taken mechanised mines from nothing and made them very profitable and productive. So we have got the right team. We have to remember that we are mining on a scale at South Deep that has not been undertaken before in South Africa. And so although mechanised mining is practiced here, first of all, it's not widely practiced. And on a scale that we have here, 1 kilometre strike length and 3 kilometres deep, we haven't seen the kind of scale of operation that we have. So it is complex, and it's taking longer, obviously, than we would have liked. But the view we have today is because this is a long life ore body, 70 years plus, we've got to do it right as opposed to quick. Because if we try and do it quick and it's not sustainable, then it falls over. So we deliberately pull back on the production to actually take what we have and optimize that and get an operational excellence culture embedded into what we've got. That would then provide the platform for us to grow from there, as opposed to trying to aggressively meet long-term targets and then we disappoint ourselves in the market.
There's suggestions that there are not enough skills, but you brought in all these experts, I understand, from Australia. So what's happening?
We've been practicing mechanised mining for 50 years. In South Africa, we're still trying to perfect it. There's not a big universe of skills pool out there in South Africa that we can access. And so, like many other mining companies, we brought in some international skills to assist us. Some of that is still ongoing. We have a smaller nucleus of Australians helping us. But really what we've decided now is we have to train people for the future, even if we're supernumerary on our training. So one of the key objectives now is let's become the trainers of mechanised mining in South Africa, the go-to training facility. And I think in the long term, that'll make sure we got the skills. In the short term, that's not going to help. So what we're doing is we've recruited a top team. They're going to see what the best is that we have, and we've still got some very good people. And then we'll recruit from the very limited pool that is out there in South Africa.
Of course, now you're talking about something that's not palatable to many South Africans, given unemployment, mechanisation, which could take away jobs. Are you expecting pressure because of that? At one stage there were reports that you would have to cut the workforce to 1/10. And can miners be upskilled?
They can. And we have pockets of excellence already where that's happening. The workforce at South Deep has already been right-sized for a mechanised operation. We've done that some years ago. We're down to about 3,500 people. So we have the right number of people. What we have to do now is make sure that we upskill what we have. So it's not a question of reducing people. We've already got the right number. It's now a question of just making sure they're more effective with what they do.
You've already cut production targets. Talking about labour, are you expecting possible further disruptions because of possible strike action this year?
Well, look, this year is wage negotiations. Again, we had a 2-year deal which matures at the end of June. Wage negotiations in the gold industry are always challenging. I don't think this year is going to be any different. There's more parties involved, there's more unions this time around. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I hope that with a will to succeed on all sides, we can find a solution. Certainly in gold, we've generally found solutions. We've had very little disruption on wages over the last number of negotiations. So I'm hopeful we'll come up with a sensible outcome again.
The final question is on the BEE deal that still hangs, the claims still hang around Goldfields. Last time we spoke, you said no comment. I don't believe that was wise. And in one of the financial statements, your chair said that there had been negative media coverage. You had forfeited a bonus. You still have not released the internal probe fully to the public. There are still these claims. So isn't it time to be open about that deal? And even though many people benefited, the claim that sits is that there was bribery, that some individuals were brought in for their political connections.
Certainly both the board and the management believe that the BEE deal was done in accordance with the spirit and letter of the MPRDA, and we're proud of the deal. We think that there are some really good elements to it in terms of the employee ownership scheme, the trust that was set up, and really the bulk of the deal went to those particular areas. There was also a broad-based consortium of individuals involved. But in terms of the investigation, as you call it, it's more of an inquiry. It's an informal inquiry at this stage. Clearly the SEC has their own time frames on this. We don't know what those timeframes are, and we also don't know what the outcome is going to be. We don't control the process, they do. So, at the right time, we'll understand where they want to go with this, but at this stage, unfortunately, we can't give you any more clarity on where we are.
There are legal processes, but because many South Africans are still suspicious, should you not at least release that internal report to back up what you say?
Look, I think obviously there are all sorts of legal issues that need to be looked at in terms of the whole investigation, etc. So I think we should leave it there. The board and the company have said what they can say, and beyond that I think we'd like to end it there.